They sleep again. They sleep. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back in. Back in. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. They can't win. No new friends. No new friends. Football fans. Football. They sleep again. They sleep. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah, yeah.
All right, Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriots. On the return, here's Marcus Murphy. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. On 1st and 10, Locke. This is caught. It's Ryan Bland. And a loose football. And the Patriots have it. Opening drive fumble and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 11 carries, 60 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Here we go, 46. 26.
They run. It's Williams. And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. The Patriots into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Prescott from the gun. And over the middle, this is Parker. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe
and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jordan Willis in there to get him for a loss of 5. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. This is caught and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really condensed, partner. So if he's going to throw the football, that could be pinpoint here.
I was going to ask you about that. Field shrinks, has to be sharper, but it's been a good opening drive so far.
Offense. Now they just want to see if they can cap it off with the bell ringer and put it in the end zone.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time you had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now 2nd and goal.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. To throw is Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Prescott now. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. This Minnesota D up to the task on the 3rd down pass play. And Lutz puts this one through. And the Patriots jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That good for 19 and a 1st down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, it usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Spencer Ware's numbers on the ground a week ago. 11 carries, 134 yards, and the score, too.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing, within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the pass...
To your right. Strong right. Check out. 190.
On 2nd down, here's Love. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. And he'll go down. at the 28.
An extra corner on the field for New England here on third down.
Yeah, another DB.
We're rolling.
They run here. Where? And he'll get this one down to about the 27. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Get out, get out. Here we go, go to 54, go to 54. Why?
Play action now. Prescott. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. He was looking for Parker that time, and it'll bring up third down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. All going deep here for Taylor. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston, then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And some good tackling there as he stopped. Up at about the 41.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Under.
They begin the drive with Williams. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. New England on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4.
I got you. Here you go. 5-2 is the mic. Mike 5-2. Mike 5-2. I don't think you got it, son. Right. You go 46. 46.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And now out comes Minnesota. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that can put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll run now with Ware. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Foxborough after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's third down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Throwing on third down. Luck goes to Ware on the screen. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
Now the Patriots offense, they worked their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. New England on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 17.
46.
Here's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Devontae Parker, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Pats able to cash in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Locke. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
To throw is Love. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play. Throwing again is Love. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. So we've reached halftime here. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football. Now it's Patterson. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Patriot offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Throwing. Prescott completes it to Moncrief, left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
go 46. 46.
On third down, it's Prescott. Flushed out right. And it's caught by Parker. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now Prescott, and he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And down inside the 15 he goes. That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now Davis. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On second down, Williams. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. New England on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott to throw it. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now it's Luck off the bootleg. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
When a linebacker is able to sit at the second level and see things develop in front of him, as soon as he got a hint that the quarterback was checking it down, he just made a beeline directly for the receiver and ended up making the play.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty, because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. A shotgun snap for Luck. He's going to air one after. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 26. A big play for the Vikings on 3rd down. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flipped field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, here's Love. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses. Catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. On the run, it's Ware. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tech McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Out of the gun, Love. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one is right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot 1st down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he's going to burn his way forward to the 48. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, We're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Here's Prescott. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Malcolm Smith able to get him for a loss of about 3.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him 3 yards there, as that'll take us to 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
26.
Here we go with Williams. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Well, not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
4 down. Then we're going to 53. Here we go. 47. 46.
On the toss, here's Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for 13 and a New England 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 5, and that should just about wrap this one up.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott being chased out left. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
We're going to 54. Why in? Here we go. 47.
Well, Prescott here to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to solve this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done, because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
One last throw here for Love. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving at rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, ran off on the two like true goy, imagine me do boy, you could never do what I do boy, still ducking the